Discharge by performance. A contract can be discharged by performance in any of the following ways. A. Actual performance. No party remains liable under the contract. Both the parties perform their obligations under the contract. For example, Mr. Ahmed agrees to sell a piece of land to Mr. Ram for rupees 1 lakh. Mr. Ahmed delivers the plot and Mr. Ram makes the payment. The contract is discharged by performance. B. Attempted performance or tender. The promisor offers to perform his obligation under the contract, but the promisee refuses to accept the performance. It is called attempted performance or tender of performance. This is covered by Section 38 of the Indian Contract Act and shall be dealt with later in the course of this lecture. Now we shall discuss discharge by mutual agreement. Discharge by mutual agreement arises by novation, recession, alteration, remission, waiver. Now we shall discuss the meaning of novation. Novation means the substitution of a new contract for the original contract. The consideration for the new contract is the discharge of the original contract. The new contract may be between the same parties, that is, by change in the terms and conditions, or it may arise between different parties, that is, the terms and conditions remain the same or changed. The following conditions must be satisfied in case of novation. Number 1, all the parties must consent to novation. Number 2, the novation must take place before the breach of original contract. Number 3, the new contract must be valid and enforceable. Let's take some of the examples of novation. A owes B rupees 50,000. A enters into an agreement with B and gives B a mortgage of his estate for rupees 40,000 in place of the debt of rupees 50,000. This is an example of novation between the same parties. Another example would be A owes money of the sum of rupees 50,000 to B under a contract. It is agreed between A, B and C that B shall henceforth accept C as his debtor instead of A for the same amount. Old debt of A is discharged and a new debt from C to B is contracted. This is an example of novation among different parties. Recession. Recession means cancellation of the contract by any party or all the parties to a contract. An example of recession would be X promises Y to sell and deliver 100 bales of carpets on the 1st of May and Y promises to pay for the goods on the 1st of June. X does not supply the goods. Y may rescind the contract. Alteration. Alteration means a change in one or more of the terms of a contract with mutual consent of the parties. The parties of the new contract remain the same. For example, X promises to sell and deliver 100 bales of cotton on the 1st of October and Y promises to pay for the goods on the 1st of November. Afterwards, X and Y mutually decide that the goods shall be delivered in 5 equal installments at his godown. Here, the original contract has been discharged and a new contract has come into existence. Remission. Remission means accepting a lesser consideration than that agreed in the contract. No consideration is necessary for remission. Remission takes place when a promisee dispenses with, either wholly or in part, the performance of a promise made to him, or extends the time for performance due by the promiser, or accepts a lesser sum instead of the sum due under the contract, or accepts any other consideration than that agreed in the contract. Waiver. Waiver means the intentional relinquishment of a right under the contract.